Hello and a very warm welcome to the Great Indian Football Dream. I'm Meha Bharadwaj-Alter, and on this special today, we delve into the possibilities of India's footballing future and draw inspiration from the powerhouse that is the European football. So join us as we explore the strategies, insights and lessons that can propel India to new heights in the beautiful game. Let me introduce then our esteemed panel from the heartland of footballing excellence. We have Gerhard Riddle, who's here. He's the CEO of RISPO Australia as well as India Football Centre. Welcome, Gerhard.
Thanks for the hospitality. Nice to be here in India.
All right. Welcome. Also joining us here is Julia Farr. She is the Senior Manager, International and New Business Sportive Coordinator of BVB Borussia Dortmund. Thank you so much, Julia, for taking the time out to be with us here today.
Thanks for having me.
And then there is Ansem Kukle. I hope I got that right. Deputy Managing Director, International Football Institute. Ansem, thank you so much for joining us here.
Hello, I'm happy to be here. And my name is very difficult, sorry for that.
Ansem, am I getting
yes,
it right?
Yes, great.
All right. And then we have Philipp Hochler. He's the CEO of Striker Labs Austria. So this side, we have the Austrian corner, and that side is the German corner. But somewhere there is the man who is, calls himself a football philosopher, but you just need to sit with him for a while and you'll fall in love with football. Even if you're a cricket fan, you sit with Kaushik Malik and you will fall in love with the beautiful game. So welcome to you as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
And today Kaushik is going to help me navigate this conversation.
Yeah,
so
sure.
let's get straight into it then. First of all, I'm going to ask all of you, how's India treating you so far? Julia?
It's always a pleasure to be here. I love it. I think there's no other country in the world which is that welcoming and so genuine, hosting us and welcoming us here with open arms. I love it every time I come here.
Okay, this is the first time for Ansem, so let's find out what is it that one thing that has stood out so far for you, Ansem.
It's my second day, so it's a little bit crazy. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, but the country is very wonderful. The culture is nice, the people are great. So it's a wonderful time so far.
Okay, now why are they all here? It's because we, News9, we're organizing Indian Tigers and Tigresses, the hunt for India's best footballing talent under the age of 14. This is a campaign that seeks to unearth footballing talent, both boys and girls from all parts of the country. The initiative was launched yesterday in a grand ceremony with around 1,200 school kids participating in the event. Of course, representatives from German football, Austrian football, they were there. There was, of course, Julia, who was there. There was Peter Leibel from Bundesliga. He was there as well. All these people were there who were part of this event, who made sure that this event was grand. Now, the registration for this hunt will open in April. And European football scouts, they will assess the entries. The selected kids will be called to the scouting venues across India by the end of June. Top 200 contenders will make it to the football training camp, and 20 Tigers and 20 Tigresses will be selected from the camp to go to train in Austria and Germany. They will also play some friendly matches with European clubs and meet football legends in August. It is News9's way of trying to foster a deep-rooted connection with the beautiful game. And the man behind the idea is Kaushik Malik, and along with everybody else here in News9. But the one thing that we saw in that event, and I'm going to ask all of you, is that there was no lack of enthusiasm, Julia. The kids were excited, and you know that youth of this country is watching football. They are playing football. But is that enough? What more needs to be done? I know you've come here several times. Yeah. When you compare Indian football to German football, the differences and maybe, you know, the challenges for India that you've seen.
I think what's still lacking is definitely the structure. And coming up with this plan and this project, it definitely gives some sort of structure, because the kids have some vision or pathway what's going to happen and what will be the next steps. And I think that's what we are doing in Germany or even in Austria and Europe quite well, to having this league system for the kids, club system, school system, all for football. Mm-hmm. And this is something we can definitely work towards having that in India as well.
Mm. One of the things though that, with me covering sports in India is that You look at infrastructure, you look at grassroots development, you look at the youth talent program. Of course, India has challenges there, but there is no, like I said, no lack of enthusiasm as them. You see kids, they want to learn. And what's also changed now is the way they are consuming international football. There are streaming platforms now where you can just go, you can watch matches, you can see your favorite, heroes play football there. They want to learn, but there are some challenges when it comes to infrastructure and the others, like I just mentioned. What is it that India can learn from German football? What are some of the things you think, right at the top of your mind, things that we can learn from German football?
I think the style we train, how we structure our training sessions is one thing. The other thing is the infrastructure, how it is organized. That's the second thing. And for me, the education of coaches is a very big part as well. So they can improve and get better. Then we need very good coaches to have very good players. That's a connection, in my opinion.
One of the things, though, is about the culture itself, Kaushik. Let's face it, India is a cricket-loving nation.
Yeah.
Of course, there are pockets, there are parts of this country where football's followed and, people want to play there. There's a tradition of football. But to make it, sort of go across, traverse around the country, that's a challenge, right? That's something that we need to change. How does one do that? How do we get that passionate fan base that we see in Germany or say in Austria?
Meha, the idea of this event, this whole campaign of Tiger and Tiger's Hunt, the reason is to across India, we have to, it's a kind of a base for developing our football infrastructure to various places, the urban, to rural, because football is also our legacy. But the football also not in the pockets. Football also very deep rooted to every nook and corner of India. But they are in various dots. If you see the entire northeastern region, a prolific football enthusiasm. If you see it in Maharashtra, so Maharashtra and Mumbai talk about their cricket, and I can give you my experience. I've organized a football tournament there. Within 20 days, 4,000 schools participated, and 100,000 kids in 136 venues, and also with 36 districts. So there was enthusiasm everywhere. I said before, I always said there's a lot of dots there, and this Tiger and Tigers initiative with TV9 News9 Plus, and also we have created India Football Center in Munden in Austria, also supported by BVB, German Football Association, DFL, IFI. Why? And also extended to Germany too. The idea is to create a pathway for all the connecting the dots. Means we are targeting around approximately 50,000 schools, 2 million kids to be registered. And this 50,000 school, we're going to reach there physically, digitally. We call it digital into phygital. And then we can also talk about how to infrastructure development in school. Everything is there. We want to change the DNA. And the DNA is we have a pathway. And when you see we have some of our place in Germany and Austria, the best football institution in the world who come to us to develop a football, so they will see the pathway, the kids, the parents, the society. Look at our football in 1956, we are fourth in Olympic. We are 2 times Asian champions. The golden era was there. Somehow we lost in the 80s onwards, because when the football passion and technology come together, and we lost the game.
Right.
Now we come to that game, and we have a dots. This initiative bridge the dots and show the pathway. And the pathway means the Indian Tigers and Tigers, they're all roads to India Football Center. And for the not only Indian, it will for Indian Dashboard together. I'll give an example. 3 months before, in our India Football Center initiative, we have picked one non-resident boy from Netherlands, and who is chosen to our SV Munden, where he had the president of the club. We fixed him there. He is playing now. But 5-6 years he roam around. He doesn't know where to go. So we create for Indian Dashboard too. Another good thing is we have also scouted one boy in Maharashtra's Kolhapur place as a football-friendly place. You never get such excitement in football in Kerala and on this part. We've chosen another boy called, he has Darshan Patil. We choose and selected them for next year. He will going to play in SB Mountain. So there's a talent and there is an enthusiasm. Our role is to just connect the dots. That's it.
Sure. But you talked about how India was a powerhouse. We're two-time Asian Games gold medalist. Melbourne 56, we did well. Yeah, but since then, there has been a steady decline. And so how do you revive football in the country? And I feel like that's where technological innovations come in as well, where not only are you keeping up with the skill that's required, but also things like sports science, medicine, technology. How has Austria sort of implemented new innovations into the game to make sure that you're up with the world standards?
No, first of all, it doesn't come from today until tomorrow. It has to grow.
Sure.
In Europe, we have the advantage. Football is growing in the last 150 years. Okay, that's why we are on a very top level there. Okay, at the moment, I think the news is coming up is the digital scouting. Okay, because I think many talents are going lost, especially outside Europe. Okay. And that's why we have made a platform for that. It's called RISPA, okay? So all the players worldwide, all the clubs, all the coaches have the possibility to be registered there, go online and meet all the people all around the world and show them their skills. You have the possibility to send them your videos, okay? Or you send them pictures from the last game. And I think it will change the scouting and the transfer management and the team management in the future a lot.
Okay, now Philip, who's sitting to my right, I'm sure he has some interesting insights on AI because that's what his company does. And AI, we know, is revolutionizing everything in the world right now as we speak. So tell us how AI is impacting football. I was reading about the case of Moises Caicedo, and for him to make it from Ecuadorian League to Brighton, that obviously had a lot of, AI played a huge role in that.
Exactly,
so what all can AI do in football?
Yeah. So basically in the last 10 years, a huge amount of data was growing. So there is a lot of information what we have, and only for the humans it is really difficult to work with that information and use that to make good decisions. And with AI in the meantime, we have the possibility that we had a tool with that we can empower humans that they are make better decisions. For example, from a video perspective. So we are covering all days thousands of soccer games, and for humans it is really hard to view all that videos, to tag that videos and get then these informations. And with AI we can directly get to these video clips, what is important and where we can then rate what are really good players. And that information you can give them, as Gerhard said, in some databases, and so you can really fast assess what are the best players and find the right talents. And based on that,
Gerhard, you need to get Philip on.
Yeah,
and get
100%. We released the borders now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the platform. I can contact anybody, and as well, years before you need the scout in the club. Okay, but. This year only regionally, okay? Now you have the possibility to contact a talent in Australia or South America, India or wherever, okay? The borders open now.
Now I've got to ask everybody on this panel, where do you stand when it comes to the use of AI? Too much is too much? Good old coaching. I know where, I kind of have an idea where Kaushik sits on that one. At the end of the day, it's the manager who's taking a call on what the players are doing on the field.
I'm not talking there's always a debate on
man versus machine.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about I'm talking about the technology versus human being.
Yes.
We ought to talk about a lot of. I'm not talking AI. There's also technology, but interesting people forget the basics. The AI has created by the human beings, and also AI need the inputs. AI can manage better. Analyze this better. But the people are, why is your discussion on that? Because you not your videographed. You need a player who play. Then you videograph, then data comes in, and then you analyzed. So AI, whatever technology can come, its next name would be whatever. But the interesting part, the human touch is always required. It helps you to study much better and take your decision a much better way. That, for example, you have some injury prevention. So now you find out to your database that you are injured in legs or a new injury, so any minor injury. And if you're good technology, you can understand, so you can protect your player. You can give a good rehab plan to your player. When somebody, to a match analysis, you want to do a match analysis for your opponent, then you have this is very good for study, for analyze the thought. But end of the day, the driving force is here. Is here. Okay. Football is here and here too. A lot of things.
Can I tell you, the youth around the world might disagree with that because they're so into AI and they think what a computer does, a human mind cannot do. So that debate is not going to end in a really long time. I'm not debating this. This is
just one answer for the debate.
Yes.
Why the debate comes in? Whatever the technology is manufactured or...
I tell you how that comes in, because they come on their laptops and they say, no, this player should be playing in that position. But the manager says, no, I don't think against this team he should be playing center forward. And that's where it changes.
Technology is the best when human interference comes into the picture. It's a supplement to each other.
But it's amazing the kind of things that clubs are doing, Ansem, now in terms of trying to gain edge over other clubs. I was reading there's an astrophysicist that they've hired, one of the clubs. They're doing brain scans for young players to see whether he or she has the potential to become a champion player. And it's crazy. And well, the ones who are doing it, who are using this technology, say that it's actually very accurate. How far is this going to go, technology in football?
That's a very good question, but it's not the end right now. And it changes the requirements of the staff, the requirements of a coach, of a co-coach, analysts, scouts. It changed all the rules and roles. And therefore, we need a very, very good education. They need to know how to use AI, for example, how to use the new software from analysis, for example. So that's the key, education, lifelong learning, and maybe 5 years later we don't sit on chairs, we sit at the air, I don't know, and learn how to use it. So it changes all the time, and football analysis, for example, is a very good example how the things changed. Maybe Philip can say something about that. We have so many technologies. Only in the last 6 months we had so many new technologies, and that shows how the direction is.
Like Tactic AI, right? That's the other one. Liverpool's using that. So
exactly. So basically, I guess that is a good example that with AI you can reduce the time what you have to sit on the laptop and use this time to speak with the people and bring that information to the pitch. So I mean, there are a lot of things what we can do better with that. But on the end, it is every time the decisions have done by humans. So
Okay, now to Julia. The club itself, Borussia Dortmund, has really loyal, very passionate fan base. And I've got to ask you this: when the club is not doing well, how do you engage the fans? How do you, constantly try to get them to like the club, to like the players, to see their, players as the heroes? What is it that the club can do? Because this is what is happening even in ISL. When you see some clubs are not doing well, immediately we don't have that kind of loyalty that you see. Of course, these are older clubs and, they have the culture. But what is it that a club like Borussia Dortmund does to engage the fans?
I think our fans are very special. You see the yellow wall, which Dortmund is very known for, with 25 people on the standing stage, which is like the biggest in European or world football. And given the long history of our club, over 100 years, that has been grown together. And in German football, we have this 50+1 rule. That means 51% of the club, the football club itself, are owned by the fans. Means all fans know we have a say. What we want is more important than what any investor or sponsor has to say when it comes and sponsors a club. So the fans know we own the club. And I think this is something very essential in German football, to have this passionate fan base. Fans and football is a cultural good of Germany. And to keep this 50+1 rule definitely helps. It's something we have all over Germany. Dortmund is another special case. We have this very close connection. Our club comes from a region which is more a working class city. So everyone knows whatever we do, we have to work very hard for this.
Yeah.
It's not a given thing. We are not Bayern Munich in a glorious city.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to visit. We are in Dortmund. We are rooted. And all the fans are like this. That's why it's so passionate in our club. And we don't really have to do much. It's like, we know we have to work hard as a team. We have to go through bad times and good times. But we know we will always have the fans behind us, no matter what.
Well said. That culture of just loving a club, supporting it, we've seen that in Kolkata.
It's still there.
It's still there.
But the roots are missing a little bit. I have seen in East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, they have the biggest fan base in the world, perhaps, because if you're in Bengal, if you're born in Bengal, one will be Mohun Bagan, maybe another one is East Bengal. The other, what a world of football clubs, they are city-centric. Like Dortmund has a Dortmund fan, Bayern has a Bayern fan, Barca has a Barca fan in Barcelona, Real Madrid and Madrid. But this is what I'm talking about. East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, this is a unique way. Anybody born as a Bengali has to be East Bengal or Mohun Bagan. And the fans, what this kind of crazy story with all the ones in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, unbelievable. And then again, technology comes in. The new generation going abroad, try to, if you talk about 50s, 60s, 70s, we have a lot of international success in football. So in the international success is very important to growth football. If you look at Germany, now they're crazy when they have a big debate when they lost 2 World Cup.
Yeah.
But they forget they are one of the powerhouse, because they have the culture like us. If you are successful in sports being every fans, any part of the world, they want a success for his club, because for them is very important, because that's their pride, which then carry on. This was missing, and this was the pride for Bengali, for East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. But slowly, this is also fed away. Yeah. The new generation is not inclined to East Bengal, Mohun Bagan anymore, because the club is not taking initiative to make engagements. They should feel my club. What Julia said, the fans feel this is my club. What I say, club has to listen. This voice was in football in East Bengal and Mohun Bagan and Mount Sporting in 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I have a lot of, I have told the legend footballer Surjit Sengupta, he is died a few years back. He was a legend in football. He said when he's a fan, he cremated his son from the straight to cremation ground to come to the cremation place to the ground to see the match. Unbelievable. There's a lot of things that happened in the football, the craziness and a love for the game is enormous. Slowly we faded out, because the new generation, they need more. Yeah. And that's the issue.
And you need to engage them.
Engage in also success. Yeah. Success of our players to be, because now a young generation and always try to, they have, can you believe the 340 million viewers for European League, all the 5 leagues, more than the 40% viewers from India. And see, everybody has supported any club. You can ask anybody in India, if you go to rural area, sometimes they go, I'm Chelsea, I'm Liverpool, I'm Bayern, and Madrid. Nobody talk about our own club, because they cannot connect, because the success is less international. So that's why the India Football Center comes into picture. Now our kids and parents and fans can think, yes, we have something. We are going to international. The way we talk about, we also contribute. I personally believe, Meha, that 1.4 billion people with a legacy, a heritage of football, who don't have a talent, we are missed out, because we don't have an eye to catch. I give an example. Yesterday, in our launch, they have more than 1,200 kids. They stay together. What is important is the kids has their passion, their enthusiasm, and we not catch the enthusiasm when they are 6, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. We never bring that translate their enthusiasm to reality. That's the missing point. That missing point we try to gap with our initiative India Football Center, the Tigers and Tigers Hunt, with partnering Dortmund, IFI. These are dots are missing. We have introduced all our partners with the Bridge the Dots.
Yeah.
Because technology dots, Cycle Up can take care of. Gerhard, his company, his organization, Resport taking care of digitization to make a deep data. Anybody can, any part of the world
Better
can
scouting,
upload.
yeah.
Scouting. Julia has wonderful idea of women's football and also for developing the club culture, how the fans can engage, how they can be taken care of. I give an example. German football. German football, women's football is engaged Arpita Chatterjee to be our ambassador of German football, women's football to promote India. It's a big story, big statement for them that one Indian actress and celebrity has taken care, they gave an honor to her to get to promote German women's football to India.
Sure.
And Julia like this, she is also a lot of taking care of Indian women's football to go to Europe. So a lot of things happening. Worlds look at us with more respectful now because we, when we talk about the technology, it is truly a technology. We're in Moon, but we're not to reach World Cup. So we have one goal.
Yeah.
But the main
Yeah,
goal is
but
still there.
that distance has to be covered from 121st rank to how do you qualify for the World Cup. Now wait, let's talk about women's football. You've cued me to my favorite topic.
That's why.
My favorite topic
that triggered you.
on this show. I don't know, it didn't trigger me, maybe in a nice way. But women's football, and that's a good initiative. I think we also need to talk about how it's not just 20 Tigers, but 20 Tigresses as well, because women's football is growing steadily, which is really great for all of us to just see young girls take to football. Julia, what is it that that we can do? People, stakeholders, be it federations, media, for me as well, federations, academies, coaches. As stakeholders, what can we do to make sure that women's game is promoted just as much?
Always emphasize the girls to show them that they can do the same the boys can do. I think I always say it, football is a game for everyone.
Yeah.
Football unites people, no matter where you are coming from, if you're a girl, if you're a boy, if you're old, if you're young, you can always be part of this wonderful game. And to emphasize especially girls and tell them, hey, go out there, play football.
Yeah.
Don't bother if somebody tells you, hey, you're a girl, you shouldn't play. You can do it. Everyone can do it. And I think me being here shows also, hey, we can do it. And yeah, I think that's what everyone can do, just emphasize them and also give them the platform, what we are doing with this project now, to emphasizing tigresses as well, giving them the platform to show themselves and express themselves as well and show what their talent and that they are there as well.
Absolutely. Empower the women as well when it comes to the beautiful game. My son goes to an academy here, a football academy, and my heart always just sort of fills up with so much joy when I see girls playing amongst the boys. There are, of course, the numbers are less, but yet there are young girls coming out to these academies to play football. Okay, interesting, engaging conversation, as I was saying. Gerhard, India Football Center, tell us a little bit more about what that is, and if Indians want to go and train at the India Football Center, what can they expect out of it?
Okay. Indian Football Center is for basics for the local player as well as the non-Indian residents all over the world. Okay. And we are very glad that we have, in the meantime, we have prepared in the next 6 months some training camps in Europe, especially in Austria and in Germany. Okay, and we have prepared for them a weekly based training camps. We have organized local coaches up from former national coaches who will teach the Indian children from the basics up to the, I would say, what can they expect when they will be once professional, okay? Because this is the dream of everybody, okay? And we will host, and we are very happy to host them in Austria, in Gmunden, and we will host them in Germany as well, and give them a week of experience, and they should also come in competition with players in Germany, in Austria, that they see what is the Indian level at the moment, okay? And we are working hardly together with our friends in India to improve the quality of the young players and the
Wonderful.
youth players in the future.
Wonderful. So India Football Center, if you want to, go there and train with the best coaches as well as, get the exposure, then that's the place to go. Gerard can give us more information. If you're interested, in the comment section below, you can tell us what you want. But coming back to, because we couldn't complete the women's football bit. Julia, German league and women's football in Germany, it's an example for everybody else in the way, there is a robust league system. There are a lot of girls playing football. The national team, women's team has done well. How did that all come about? Was there a special sort of incentive? Was there something special in terms of planning that has gone into it? And what has that been like to get to this level?
Yeah, I think in German football, we don't really invented women football new. It's just we leveraged on the existing structure that we already have in place also for the boys. So it's not really that women are treated way different than the boys because they are running through the same kind of system our boys do. So the DFB, the German Football Association, has the same system in place for girls and boys equally. It's just separated. This is for the boys, this for the girl, but still the same. And I mean, otherwise...
Keep talking, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, what we do in Germany a lot is emphasizing girls that are really talented to play as long as possible with boys, if they feel comfortable. There are always girls that don't feel comfortable. Then you have to obviously also look into them and give them a pathway. But if it's possible, girls try to play until under 17 with the boys in highest possible leagues just to learn from them and to just be like the physical strength and stuff like that. So I think that's been very helpful as well to lift our national team standards as well.
Should we now talk about the Euros between Germany and Austria? Who has a better chance?
Germany,
Just
of
to
course.
Just to sort of shake things up a bit, Kaushik.
Sure, of
So
course.
this is our German corner and this is the Austrian corner.
I'm interested what Kaushik says about
This
this.
will be
Where
interesting.
do you stand, Kaushik?
I'm in between.
Oh,
My heart is German, my brain is Austria.
That's
Simple way.
just very diplomatic answer. You choose one. Who's going to perform better?
Heart or brain?
Both required. If your heart doesn't work, brain doesn't work perfectly.
He's not going to give us an answer. but this is a happy time for German football. After
I think it's time for us to show the world again where German football is and what we stand for. I think there have been recent years which are not that successful. We have seen a lot of changes now. Players like Toni Kroos coming back to the national team. And I do see hope for sure that Germany can be back up on its standards again.
the Austrian campus say, what, you don't have enough players, you're calling players, senior players out of retirement to play, right, Philip?
For sure, yeah.
Whatever.
but I have to say, as a German, Austria has a very good team as well. So
They do.
they developed very good the last years, and so I hope you will make the group.
So
But
I guess if we compare the population...
No,
then I guess we can do really well
Meha,
without
there's one
development.
interesting composition here also in this fight.
Huh.
In Austrian national team, there's one Indian, non-resident Indian playing, Manpreet Sakaria.
Yeah.
This is our big story.
That's a story I think all Indian media
Yeah.
channels should pick
And
on.
hopefully one day we also have an German team, maybe one Indian non-resident to be there.
Which is then let's ask them.
I tell
How
you
long before we
tell
can
you,
see in
may
India
I
and in
tell-
Borussia
may I
Dortmund,
tell
we've
you
got
may I tell you one story that should our viewers should know and all of us should know. This is a story of belief and story of belief to convert to deliverables. In 2008, the Oliver Kahn's farewell match I hosted in Calcutta. A huge 120,000 crowd, 45,000 outside the ground. And after the match, we are all in a bus to come back to the hotel. The Willie Winners, the general manager of the club, and he said, Kaushik went to do something for India. Yes. But Willie have one little crazy thoughts. Tell me, he was a very good mood. I said, really, I have a little bit Indian thoughts, or maybe I emotional, but I have some wish in my mind, and should I say to you? He said, yes. You tell me. He said, within 10 years, some Indians, maybe non-resident or Indian, will play your club in Bayern Munich. He said, Kaushik, you're mad. No, I just explain what I felt is somebody has asked me to do. I don't know who has asked me to do. Believe me, 2018, exactly 10 years, Bayern Munich signed an Indian boy, non-resident Indian boy. He plays for New Zealand, but he's a non-resident Indian. He plays for Bayern Munich. Sarnpreet Singh. So the wish is important.
Yeah, you need to start thinking more about how many more Indians can go
I can
and manifest those thoughts.
Then I can share it now with the live. Yesterday, I have within my belief again, automatically.
Yeah.
I don't know number. It's say within my conscious mind to unconscious mind. Hey, within 5 years, some of the kids will be in Bundesliga. I don't know, but it's within. I explain now.
Yeah, but seriously, do you feel, Julia and Anselm, that when you're making these kind of collaborations, like you've got a talent hunt where kids are going to go to Germany and Austria to train, does that sort of, you not only realize a dream that you probably never thought of, but at the same time that goal sort of becomes more real to you, right?
For sure.
For somebody who cannot think of even going out of India, to go there, play with players there, get the exposure, somehow that goal gets closer. Will that sort of change? You feel that being the vision for something like this?
Definitely. I think for the kids it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity to go out there and see what's the standard like, how is it done in Germany, how is it done in a professional club like Dortmund, even though they will not be the next Bundesliga player, but they will go back to their country and will have something to share and something to last for themselves forever, which would be some sort of a learning process for them as a person. Yeah. And we talk about Bundesliga. Obviously, it's a big dream to find that Indian player playing for Bundesliga, but there are also other leagues out here where they can start first as a platform, like the Japanese league, the Korean league, Thai league. They're doing well as well. Yeah. So, and I think Indian Super League, they can also develop and can become a league which gives young aspiring players a platform to perform on a high level, to then take the next step and go out and play in Europe.
Do you have to be a German national to play in the Bundesliga?
No.
So it's just anybody from anywhere?
There's a stipulation still, non-European for that. But yes, it's open up. But Julia?
It's more an age question.
Yes,
so underage cannot sign in a European
18 plus.
Yeah.
But Julia, I have a belief. In 5 years, somebody.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's think big. Maybe you're vicious, but you need to.
Can I tell you, I would really want a girl to be in one of,
That was our first low-hanging fruits.
Yeah.
That we're discussing, that we're discovering.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's an interesting proposition. Because Julia has also Dortmund has. She can share about it. There's a Singaporean girl playing very well, and Singapore and India is not a big difference in a girls' football too. So there is always possibility. Important thing. That's why we create the dots together. We have a dots in our country. We have also dots in our supporters. We bring all the dots together. That's our role to this entire initiative of Indian Tigers Hunt. It's not a hunt means it begins to close down or bridge up the dots.
Absolutely. Now, Philip's been sitting for a while. Let's also get AI involvement back again. The thing that interests me about AI, of course, player analytics and all of that aside, is injury management. Yeah. It's crazy how those vast amounts of data can sort of predict almost to 99% when a player will get injured, how serious will that injury be. It's crazy because I was talking to some of my friends in the NBA, and they were talking about their AI platform, and they were saying that it's so accurate that sometimes we find it shocking. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
For sure, yeah. We are Striker Labs. That was our first part where we start. That we say, okay, one club has only a few data. For example, you had some injuries that happens once a year. And with one injury, with AI, you can give that not enough input that they can generate accurate predictions. But if you bring all together, that there are more clubs in the database, and we in Striker Labs, we had in the meantime thousands of injuries there, then it is possible that you can calculate good models, that you had good and high accurate predictions. And then all will profit from them, because everyone would like to have that we have less injured players.
Yeah.
And that's one of the important things, or one of the biggest advantages from AI, when you are able to bring the databases together.
Yeah. I don't know why they're not doing it in cricket. Every big tournament and your top cricket players get injured, and then they miss out. But Kaushik's not going to talk about cricket.
No, of course, because my first love was cricket.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I also love cricket, but I have a little. I'm very conservative on cricket.
Huh.
I was always a little purist
okay.
cricket. I love
Test
the
cricket.
Test cricket, and that's a really good cricket.
Yeah.
And that I still believe it.
I want to know what's their reaction to Test cricket, playing for 5 days and ending in a draw.
No, that's a different story. But if you are the basic, if you are playing a golf, and then the next morning you can come and say, I have to play a golf in a room. You can. You have a hole in your stick to kick the ball. It's not a golf.
Yeah.
I'm not against Test cricket.
I'm just saying that most of the times it's so difficult to explain Test cricket to non-Test cricket playing countries, because you say that you play for 5 days, and very often the Test match ends in a draw. But we still have so much fun watching it. So maybe next time, when our panelists are here and they are going to come back, maybe we need to take them for a game.
Sure.
Cricket.
I have a very, very fun. And Germany also has a cricket team.
Okay, Germany of course has a cricket team.
And Netherlands also has a cricket team. They played World Cup also.
Yes, so cricket making its inroads into Europe, but we're completely out of time. So I'm going to wrap this up. Ansem, Julia, Kaushik, Gerhard, Philip, it's such a pleasure to have you all here. And hopefully what we've started in News9, it may be a small step, but an important step in changing how football is seen in India, giving opportunities to young players to really come out there and experience what it's like to play in footballing powerhouse, right, like Germany or Austria, just to get that exposure. We need it because we want everybody to fall back in love with football again in this country. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's it from our guest. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's it then. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. We loved bringing it to you. For now, bye-bye.